Hey everybody, it's Erin Reed, and we are going to do a little bit of some fun card making with these wonderful Art Play Coloring books. It's a watercolor paper. So since this is watercolor, I have had this particular watercolor thing for a while and have not done much with it. So we're going to play with that today. I'm even going to get my daughter involved, which is why we have two different setups happening right now. So I am pulling out the Daisy Delight and the Just Folksy because they're full of flowers, and we're on spring break right now, and I just feel like flowers are kind of fun. So I personally, I think I'm going to end up doing maybe two, and I'm going to let her have some fun because she's begging to do it. So she is actually getting the water for when we do our watercoloring. So I'm picking out just a couple of papers, and they're perforated, which is fantastic. These are from Adornit, and links are down below, so don't forget to check them out. Don't forget to give a thumbs up and like this video, and please subscribe. I would love that. All right, so what else do I want to do? Oh, these are cute, but I don't know. Let's do this one. I like the framed ones. So let's do a couple of the fun framed ones. So I picked both my images that I want to do. It is out of the Daisy Delight. So just to show you some of the other images are in here. There's so many fun things that are in this one. And there's a ton of these particular types of coloring books, and they each come with, I mean, how many pages does it say in here? 12 illustrations. So there's 12 pages in each little book, which is fantastic. So Catherine, you want to say hi?
Hi.
Here she is. So she's 5 and she's going to play with doing some watercolors. Do you want to do that one?
No.
No? Okay.
Not
Which one do you
this
want?
one.
No?
Not
Which one do you want to do?
this one.
You want to do the flower one? All right, so let's tear this one out for her. One. Okay, let's find the second one. Now, you can pick from out of here, too. There's another flower you want.
I don't want
There's that one.
Not that one.
No?
This one.
That one? All right.
Because it kind of looks...
They do kind of look the same, don't they?
Uh-huh. Actually, not that one.
You know, we're girls, we change our minds. What about that one? No?
Do I have the same one in here? Like
Well,
that?
do you want to pick one of mine?
Mhm.
Do you want that one? Okay, you can take that one. That's fine. And I'll pick something from here. You know what? I'm going to do this one. I kind of like that one.
You just have to do all of it.
So we've each picked one from, I keep going for the ones that have the grids. Like I said, I like that feel. So we picked 2 from Just Folksy and 2 from Daisy Delight. And I'm going to put the coloring, the watercolors, kind of in the middle of this. Now, this watercolor, like I said, I've had this. This is a Yakusumo. And again, links are down below if you want to check out where to find any of these things. Okay, so whenever you're doing watercolors, there's a lot of ways. I have a water bottle here that is full of water. The first thing you want to do, which one do you want to do first?
This one.
Okay, so we are actually going to do it. This is your paper towel to kind of clean your paintbrush. So you're going to do this one first?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we are going to spray, no, up here. All right, so you just kind of put your water, your paper towel off to the side, because when you're done using that color, you just kind of clean your paintbrush off to the side and then you dip into the color again. So the first step we're going to do is we spray down. We want to kind of get your watercolor paper wet, which is what I'm doing. So I'm just getting it wet. The next step is I'm going to spray, because we're probably going to end up using all of these colors, and we're going to activate all of these beautiful watercolors. Now, if you notice, there's wells in here. So just to kind of show you what you can kind of do, and I'm not a watercolor expert by any stretch of the imagination. I'm a crafty person, pure and simple, self-taught. I just learn as I go. But there's a couple of tricks I do know. So for instance, if you want to get this, now that I've sprayed it, and it will re-dry. So once you're done using this, leave it out, let it sit, let it dry overnight, and you can close it back up and it's good to go. You can take your watercolor up in here and you can kind of blend. This is where you can do your blending. So you can take some of the watercolor, you can take a batch of it. I can also add more water to this. And if you guys have any tips or tricks, because I do not do this very often. If you have any tips or tricks for watercoloring with like a palette like this, let me know. I'd love to hear it in the comments, right? It's always nice to hear some comments. Some of you guys do stuff a whole lot more than I do. You know, I kind of dabble in just about everything, so that's where I kind of go. So once I put this in here, I just come in, and because my paper is wet, it glides on a whole lot easier. And I'm just going to play. And I'm going to do this first one in yellow. Just come in. And I am not trying to be perfect here. I'm not trying to stay in the lines. I'm not trying to make this look absolutely in perfection. I am just getting the color on there. Right, you do it how you want it, right, Catherine? Now, when I'm done with that color, I can come over here. I can even spray my brush a little bit, but it was already pretty much clean. There it is. Now I'm going to come in with another color. I'm going to do whatever this one is. It's kind of a fun one. Is it a white one?
The white kind of.
It's kind of a white color.
It's kind of white, kind of pinkish.
I'm not in love with that one. So I'm going to grab a little bit of the red. And this is where you can have fun kind of mixing your colors. So I'm going to take a little bit of this, come in here, and you can kind of blend a little of your color in here. And ooh, that looks so much better to me. So we're going to have some fun, don't you think, Catherine?
Yes.
Making our colors. Look how easy and fast that was. I think I need a purple in here. So I'm going to grab some of the purple. Now I am somewhat mixing my colors a tiny bit. And you know what, that's okay. This is the second time I've ever used this paint palette, but I tell you what, when I got this out, when I got this, maybe this a little more wet. When I got these coloring things, there's like 2 or 3 things that popped into my head, and pulling out this paint palette that I've had for ages was the first thing that popped into my head. I thought, you know, I have this thing. You need a spray? There you go. See, she's got it down. This is also something fun, very lethargic about this. Obviously, you can just color these in with whatever color pencils, matte pencils, whatever pencil-y things you happen to have. I think those would be great.
What if it was like a paint one?
Huh?
Like a paint kind of.
Yeah, you could like really paint these. I think the watercolor is a little bit better for this, but you could also color them in with markers or with matte pencils, right?
Like the watercolor pencils.
Right, you could do some of those like the scribble sticks or like the gelatos. This would be kind of fun in here too. I mean, there's so many options here.
A lot.
Right. So, how old are you, Catherine?
5.
She's 5. Are you having fun?
Mm-hmm.
So you can get in just about anything with these little colors. I want to dilute that purple because I want to create an interior. So I'm going to pick up this color I had right here, and I'm going to try and dilute this purple.
Pink.
Well, I'll just create a lighter purple.
And
So watercolors are a little bit of a different animal compared to the other paints that you might work with in terms of mixing colors. You're not going to get a true, I don't know how to explain it, a true color blend. It's going to work a little differently because that's the way just watercolors work. There it is. All right, so we're going to kind of speed this up. We're going to keep painting along and have some fun. I'm going to work with this one, but you get the idea. Have some fun with it. And then we're going to come back after we're done painting all these, and we're going to turn these into cards.
how cards?
How are we going to put these into cards? Well, we're going to show them how, right? All right, so have to stay tuned to see how. We're going to speed this up now. So we are done watercoloring, and I already did cut this one. I'm going to show you up close what I have done. Isn't that pretty? And the paper really did take well to the watercoloring. And then I got to show you my daughter. She had a blast. It's funny how she went with the dark colors. I think that's cool. There she is. She stepped off for a little bit, so she got tired of waiting for everything to dry. Okay, so the next step I did is I started trimming, and I broke out my paper trimmer, and I really didn't like it, partly because these are not 100% dry and just wasn't cutting perfectly. And it just, to me, it's like, well, why can't I just hand cut this and then play? Because, like, for instance, this paper right here, it's got some wavy lines to it, so let's not play with that and kind of follow them and give that feel of still having that wavy line action. So to me, cutting this with scissors is fine. And the reason why I'm cutting this down is because I'm fitting this on a card base that is smaller. If I was doing a large card, I would fit it. But just to show you, this just fits. And this isn't a perfect A2 size card, but it's pretty darn close. And to me, that just seems like it's funny. It needs to be trimmed up. So when I trim them, it gives me that perfect size to fit on a card for an A2 size card. Like I said, this is an A2, almost an A2 size card. This was a preset of size cards that were already there. So I'm going to continue trimming these down. I'm going to let my daughter finish her own when she comes back. And I just, you know, freehanding it. This particular one's got a wavy set of lines, and I don't want to lose that coolness of the paper. So I'm kind of following that trend. If you also wanted to watercolor the entire background, go for it. There's so many fun ways that you can do these. You don't have to leave them stark white, but I kind of like that feeling. For this one, because it does have straight edges, I do want to emphasize the fact that it has a nice black border. So I am inking the edge. This one I'm not. But for this one, I do want to do that. So that gives you the option there as well. So in terms of the watercolorness, how well this took watercolor, I'm happy with it. I am not a huge watercoloring person. I dabble in it, but to me, it did just fine. Okay, next step, adhesive. Pulling out my Xyron Mega Runner, and I'm just adding adhesive to the back. Get it all the way into the corners, and don't rip your paper like I almost just did. Get it all the way in those corners. Really get it down there. Now, you can go super fancy with cards. We're just playing around and being simple, letting the beauty of the images and the watercoloring kind of do the work for you. I love the look of it on a craft piece of paper because to me, craft goes with everything, and they're already set to fit kind of on a nice, cute card. Now, this card could be used for so many different things. It could be used for get well, it could be used best wishes, thank you, happy birthday. If you do not put a sentiment on a card, it can go for so many uses. As soon as you stick a sentiment on there, it's pigeonholed into being that one type of card. So to me, I sometimes like to leave my cards open-ended because then I'm not stuck in one facet or another. And she's back. Hey, Catherine. So we are just putting them on cards. So the next step we did is we cut them down. Do you want to cut yours? All right, so she's going to go ahead and cut her cards down. I'm going to give her some scissors and we're going to glue these on. I will show you pictures, but for now, don't forget to subscribe. Links are down below. I will get some up-close pictures of all the cards, including hers. We'll have a little set for her. Thanks so much. Please subscribe, and I'll see you guys again soon. Bye-bye. You want to say goodbye?
Bye. Bye.